No, please. I didn't mean to do it, you understand me? She struggled. I told her to just stay still, but she wouldn't listen. I had no choice.
This is the dark tale of the hidden reason why killing Rufio for the Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion is actually the right thing to do. When travelling throughout Cyrodiil, we encounter citizens sharing rumours of a mysterious brotherhood of assassins known as the Dark Brotherhood.
They say when you murder someone, the Dark Brotherhood comes to you in your sleep. It's how they recruit new members.
What?
Dismissing the gossip as merely hearsay, we continue on our adventure. It's not until sometime later we arrive at the Bandit-infested Walker camp and fire upon our would-be assailants before they see us.
Ha! Someone's been murdered!
However, we feel as if our killing has been observed by forces unknown, and quickly realise these Camonna Tong thugs were not in fact hostile, but two mercenaries simply awaiting a skooma trade. And so we're forced to put down the surviving member, lest we invoke the wrath of the wider organisation back in Morrowind. With the weather turning, we're forced to make camp in our now crime scene. Turning in on the nearest bedroll next to the fire, we begin our restless sleep, and the air suddenly grows chill as a shadowy figure approaches.
You sleep rather soundly for a murderer. That's good. You'll need a clear conscience for what I'm about to propose.
Exploring all options, first we can say, Who are you?
I am Lucien LeChance, a speaker for the Dark Brotherhood, and you are a killer, taker of life, a harvester of souls.
All we can demand, explain yourself, now.
In due time, dear child, in due time.
Our third option is to say nothing.
You prefer silence, then? As do I, my dear child, as do I. For is silence not the symphony of death, the orchestration of Sithis himself? Ironic, then, that I come to you now as speaker for the Dark Brotherhood. My name is Lucien LeChance, and my voice is the will of the Night Mother. She's been watching you, observing as you kill, admiring as you end life without pity or remorse. The Night Mother is most pleased. That is why I stand here before you. I bear an offering, an opportunity to join our rather unique family.
Cordially, we respond. Please, continue, Mr. LeChance.
I find your etiquette refreshing. Now please, listen carefully.
I'm listening.
Then heed my words, for I will not repeat them.
And again, instead, we can say nothing.
So, I have your rapt attention. Splendid. Now listen closely. On the green road to the north of Breville lies the Inn of Ill Omen. There you will find a man named Rufio. Kill him, and your initiation into the Dark Brotherhood will be complete. Do this, and the next time you sleep in a location I deem secure, I will reveal myself once more, bearing the love of your new family.
If we choose to respond honestly, we say, but I'm no murderer. Rufio has done nothing to us.
No? The Night Mother seems to think otherwise.
If bloodlust takes over, we can say, Rufio will die by my hand.
Excellent.
Or again, say nothing.
Please, accept this token from the Dark Brotherhood. It is a virgin blade and thirsts for blood. May it serve you well, as does your silence. Now I bid you farewell. I do hope we'll meet again soon.
Regardless of our responses, this interaction begins the quest, A Knife in the Dark. With our options now open, we opt to ask Lucien more questions and ascertain whether we should join his band of assassins and ask, what exactly is the Dark Brotherhood?
Have you not heard of the Dark Brotherhood? Of the remorseless guild of paid assassins and homicidal cutthroats? Join us, and you'll find the Dark Brotherhood to be all that and so much more. We are, more than anything, a union of like-minded individuals. We kill for profit, for enjoyment, and for the glory of the dread Father Sithis. We are family, with bonds forged in blood and death.
Lucien's response puzzles us and spawns a flurry of questions about the enigmatic Brotherhood, and we inquire, who is this Night Mother you worship?
We praise our unholy matron. From her shadowed womb we were born. From her breast we suckle malice and pain. She loves her children, you see.
And what is your role, then, as a speaker? Outside of suckling, that is.
Yes, I am a speaker, a representative of the Dark Brotherhood. My voice is the voice of the Black Hand, our organization's ruling body. One of my duties is to find exceptional individuals, such as yourself, and offer a place within our family.
It's a lot to take on board. There's assassins that somehow speak to a Night Mother, but the one thing we can't wrap our head around is, why should we kill Rufio?
Know that Rufio is old and weak and sleeps his days away. You could kill him before he even has a chance to wake, if you so choose.
If we finally ask Lucien about any other rumors he knows of, he dismisses us, saying,
I do not spread rumors. I create them.
With his invitation still standing, the Dark Brotherhood speaker then departs.
Your path is clear. Send Rufio to his death, and the Dark Brotherhood will embrace you as family.
LeChance then turns invisible and begins to stalk away. However, we do have the opportunity to strike at him, lashing out at this would-be assassin, turning down his repugnant invitation in the most hostile of ways.
You're pathetic.
Although we do have the option to kill LeChance, his death seems to have consequences, and our quest will prematurely complete reading. Lucien LeChance, the Dark Brotherhood's representative, has been killed. He was my link to the mysterious Assassin's Guild, and now that link has been severed forever. And thus, the Dark Brotherhood questline would close to us entirely. On LeChance's body, we would find his Black Hand hood, which fortifies sneak, illusion, marksman, blade, and speechcraft for 4 points, and also similar attributes on his Black Hand robe, and that is all we would learn of the shadowy organization. Instead, curious by the dark figure's offer, our quest will then update reading, while sleeping I was visited by Lucien LeChance, a representative for the Assassin's Guild known as the Dark Brotherhood. He said that if I wished to join his quote-unquote family, I must go to the Inn of Ill Omen, find a man named Rufio, and kill him. If I simply leave Rufio alone, LeChance will never visit me again. And so we make our way on the Green Road up north from Breville towards the Imperial City. Looming in the darkness is the promised Inn of Ill Omen, which bears the emblem of a single raven perched above its door. Stepping inside by the fire, we're greeted by a Redguard pilgrim named Minerva, who welcomes.
Hello, stranger. We don't get many visitors around here. Makes things pretty lonely for me, if you know what I mean.
Asking the lonely patron of the inn, she further confides.
The only people that stay here are stragglers on the Green Road. Me, I got no place else to be. Besides, I think Mannheim is sweet on me.
Speaking to Minerva about a potential target, Rufio, she admits.
Not a lot to tell. He doesn't much like company, and spends most of his time in his room. Mannheim thinks he's hiding out from someone. Bye now, sweetie. I look forward to seeing you again.
Leaving the flirtatious Redguard with her aching loins, we then step behind the bar and speak to the Nord publican Mannheim Mallhand, who greets.
Well, I'll be a spotted snow bear, a customer. We got plenty of rooms if you want one. Ain't nobody staying here these days except old Rufio.
We then say, look, I don't mean to be rude, but what kind of a name is Inn of Ill Omen?
That's a horrible name for an inn, I know, but I just can't bring myself to change it. Besides, I like the sign.
We then inquire, oh, who is this Rufio character?
Rufio? He's an old codger, Been living here for a couple of weeks now. If you ask me, he's hiding from something. But what do I care? He pays his tab. His room is downstairs, in what I like to call the private quarters. Use that hatch in the floor over there, but don't expect a warm reception.
Probing further about rumours local to the region, Mannheim then offers us a copy of the Black Horse Courier.
Everyone's talking about the assassination, of course. Here, take my copy of the new Black Horse Courier. Go ahead, keep it.
The source of most gossip and propaganda, as the publication is paid for by the Elder Council.
Farewell, and tell your friends, the Inn of Ill Omen is open for business, as always.
Turning away from the barkeep, we then head towards the exit and turn west to see a hatch which heads down to a basement level. In the room furthest down the hall, we see a man lying on a single bed, asleep. It is the Breton pilgrim, Rufio. And so we stir our proposed quarry, who jumps up defensively, saying,
Who are you? What do you want? I ain't done nothing.
Bluffing, we can intimidate Rufio into divulging information prematurely, saying, Oh, but you have, Rufio.
No, please. I didn't mean to do it, you understand me? She struggled. I told her to just stay still, but she wouldn't listen. I had no choice.
No choice? What choice did that poor girl have that you murdered in cold blood? No one hides from Sithis.
Oh, please, no. I can pay you. Name your price. Anything. Anything. Please, just let me live.
As Rufio begins to bargain for his pathetic life, we then stay silent, watching him squirm.
Just go away.
Rufio will then begin to flee throughout the lower level of the inn, simply cowering, holding his hands over his head, awaiting his fate. As we notch an arrow to finish off the pathetic weasel, our conscience begins to tug at us, and we question, who was the victim Rufio blathered about? Can we trust the Dark Brotherhood? And most importantly, does Rufio actually deserve to die? Leaving the Breton to cower in the basement of the inn, we realize we're not ready to just kill Rufio on the command of some dark assassin and begin some detective work to divine whether he deserves to be spared or to be killed. Remembering Mannheim's copy of the Black Horse Courier, we cast our mind back and remember seeing copies scattered about Cyrodiil that claim to contain vital information about the Brotherhood of Assassins. Perhaps our only lead to the shadowy organization and to Rufio as well. And thus we head to the market district in the Imperial City. Inside the Black Horse Courier offices, we see two Khajiit conversing and approach the one named Hasiri when their short dialogue is complete.
You have words? Any new books you've been reading? I was given the legendary Scourge. I don't know what to think about it yet. I've never read that. Been meaning to pick it up, though. Perhaps I can read it when you're finished. So long. You too. How goes it?
The Black Horse Courier. Brothers Urjabi and Rajarad, and I, Hasiri, we bring the news of the Empire to the people of the Empire. Fast, fast!
Here, have a copy. It's free, always free. We're funded by the Elder Council, so I don't mind, really.
Farewell.
The edition that Hasiri had handed to me, we see behind us on the desk, named Night Mother Rituals. We then open the article which reads, Special Edition, Night Mother Rituals on the Rise, and won't be tolerated, warns the Imperial Legion, by Agnes, the quill is mightier than the ebony sword, Earhard. The Imperial City, pinnacle of art, entertainment, scholarship, and ritualistic murder? So says Adamus Philida, commander of the Imperial Legion forces in the Imperial City and a staunch opponent of the mysterious assassins guild known as the Dark Brotherhood. According to Philida, Imperial Legion soldiers have discovered 13 separate instances of the macabre Black Sacrament, a sinister rite purportedly used to summon a member of the Dark Brotherhood in order to arrange an assassination. Whether or not Card card-carrying killers show up on a ritual performer's doorstep remains to be seen, but the Black Sacrament itself is very real, and truly the stuff of nightmares. As documented in the rare and taboo work A Kiss, Sweet Mother, the Black Sacrament involves an effigy of the intended victim, created from actual body parts, including a heart, skull, bones, and flesh within a circle of candles. To proceed with the ritual, one must stab the effigy repeatedly with a dagger rubbed with the petals of a nightshade plant, while whispering the plea, sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. As gruesome as this ritual may be, even more frightening is its intention. The summoning of a mysterious assassin, who some witnesses claim is always clad in a black hooded robe, who will then receive money to kill an innocent victim. No remorse, no regret. It is, as the merchants say, simply business. And that's what worries Adamus Philida. This brazen increase in Night Mother rituals is an affront to the decent, peace-loving citizens of the Empire. The Imperial Legion exists for one reason and one reason only: to protect and serve the people of Tamriel. How in Azura's name can we do that when people take it upon themselves to contact paid assassins and have innocent people murdered? How can I sleep at night knowing my Legion can't possibly save the life of someone marked for death by the Dark Brotherhood? Anyone who carries out this Black Sacrament makes a mockery of the Imperial Legion, and as commander, that's something I just can't tolerate. From this point forward, any citizen found in the possession of items related to the Night Mother ritual will be incarcerated in the Imperial prison indefinitely, and their property seized by the Empire. There's no fine high enough, no standard prison sentence long enough for the type of malcontent who would show such a blatant disregard for our dear Emperor's law and welfare of the fine people of Tamriel. To be sure, Adamus Philida is not one to issue empty threats. Indeed, the Black Horse Courier has learned that one Claudius Arcadia, until recently a resident of the Talos Plaza district of the Imperial City, is now residing in a cold, dank cell in the Imperial prison, and his house has become the newest Imperial Legion outpost. So before you take the law into your own hands, dear reader, remember, you'll go further in life with a warm smile than a cold blade. And if you've got a grudge that won't be soothed, a score that can't be settled, you can always move to Morrowind and have the government-sanctioned Morag Tong do the killing for you. Indeed, we then follow our strongest lead to Claudius Arcadius' house, reportedly situated in the Talos Plaza district. Just near the western entrance, we find his house has been seized and locked up tight, and a note on the door reads, "For public notice, this property has been seized by the Imperial Legion and its owner imprisoned. Rituals to the Night Mother or any other attempt to contact the Dark Brotherhood will not be tolerated. Adamus Philida, Imperial Legion Commander." Successfully breaking into Claudius's residence, now the outpost, through a hard lock, we find in his sprawling living room a single sentry is posted. Realizing this probably isn't our best idea we've ever had, searching for evidence in an Imperial outpost for this Black Sacrament, we sneak by the guard up to Claudius's room. Once inside, we're shocked to see there is no grisly scene of murder and body parts, but to the contrary, we see the accused seem to be an avid painter. Most of his effects are still littered about, undisturbed, as if the guard has haphazardly moved into the lower levels and disregarded the rest of his residence. Inside Claudius's room, next to his bed, we find a hard-locked chest. Inside it contains a damning piece of evidence called the Journal of Claudius, which reads, "Entry 1. I've made up my mind. I don't care what it takes. I'll have my revenge. I've heard the stories about the Dark Brotherhood, about how they'll come to you if you perform some kind of ritual to their Night Mother. I don't know who or what the Night Mother is, and I don't give a damn. If I can do it, I will. I'll give the Dark Brotherhood anything they want, so long as they do what I can't." Entry 2. I've learned how to perform the ritual and have procured the necessary items. The bones and skull were easy enough to get, but the heart and skin were a bit more difficult. I'll make preparations in the cellar. Entry 3. It worked. Last night I was visited by someone, a representative from the Dark Brotherhood. The Night Mother heard my prayers. The money was exchanged and the man promised me I would have satisfaction. I don't know where he's hiding, and neither does the Dark Brotherhood, but as soon as he's located, Rufio will die. By the gods! Claudius wanted Rufio killed. This is more than a tenuous tie, it's proof. And Rufio had muttered something about he didn't mean to kill a girl that was struggling. She must have been close to Claudius, but in what manner, we do not know. And thus, we follow the instructions of the journal. Risking everything, we sneak back into the foyer of his home and down into his basement, past an easy lock and the guard therein, inside the cellar. We then sneak within its serpentine halls and find at its very end Adamus Philida himself looming over a grisly scene of gushes of blood and gore, bones strewn about and nightshades reportedly needed to coat the dagger that would stab the heart that lay upon human skin. As we move to leave, Adamus spins on us angrily, accosting.
Stop right there, criminal scum! Nobody breaks the law on my watch! I'm confiscating your stolen goods. Now pay your fine, or it's off to jail.
With no way to fight our way out of this scenario, and not willing to attempt to bribe the commander of the guard, we put our hands up in supplication, agreeing to go to jail, in which he says,
Serve your time peaceably, and pay your debt to society.
Once inside the dank cell, we could opt to serve our time, however we smuggled a single lockpick to aid with our jailbreak, and so instead we precariously pick the hard lock. And as we round the corner to leave our cell, we see that our jailer is doing his rounds, and so we sit back down against the stony wall, waiting for our opportunity. Silently opening the bars, we slip past the guard, and as we're about to leave, we turn to see Claudius Arcadia.
Come on. So I wanted somebody murdered. So I prayed to the Night Mother. What is that? A crime now? They even took my house, those bastards. Ah!
So this is what has become of the Imperial. A man so angry at losing someone that he loved, perhaps a sister, a former lover, a wife, to this despicable Breton, Rufio, who now cowers as a free man inside the Inn of Ill Omen. Our anger building, we leave the prison cell, jaded by the whole Imperial justice system or the lack thereof. And as we step outside, we bump into none other than Adamus Philida, who absent-mindedly introduces.
I'm Adamus Philida, prison administrator and commander of the Imperial Legion forces here in the Imperial City. Have we met? You look familiar.
The self-righteous captain doesn't even remember arresting us yesterday. We go so far as to ask him what he thinks of the Imperial City, and he shares.
It is a wonderful city, and I'm proud to have served her for 40 years. But I'm ready to retire. Let the young folks take over the reins.
40 years, the Imperial Pig and his ilk have flaunted their power on the hapless citizens of the city, soon to be no more. Funnily enough, it seems paranoia has taken over for the captain when asked about the Emperor's death, and he says,
Truth is, the Legion doesn't know who was behind the Emperor's murder. We've already ruled out the Dark Brotherhood. So is this something worse? Stay safe, citizen. These are dark times.
It's then we fully accept our role to join the Dark Brotherhood and to aid the assassins in cleaning up the filth that is allowed to walk free thanks to the apathy of the Imperial Watch. Heading back down the green road to the Inn of Ill Omen, we find ourselves in the cellar and remember the dagger that Lucian had gifted us, the Blade of Woe. Equipping it, we stalk down the Breton Rufio in the first room where he still cowers, as if rightly sensing retribution is nigh. So we whisper behind him, Rufio, Rufio, before slashing at the nape of his neck, severing Rufio's spine and killing him instantly before he hits the ground. Our quest then updates reading, the man named Rufio is dead. The next time I sleep in a location he deems secure, Lucien Lachance will visit me once more and complete my entrance into the Dark Brotherhood. Leaving the scene of the crime under the guise of night, we then make our way northwest to the Farragle Inn, which is just a stone's throw from the Inn of Ill Omen. Inside we see the innkeeper, Abuki, who offers us a room for 10 gold.
Good day. A bed you seek? There is one here for you if you have the 10 gold to rent it. Up the stairs you must go to the first door on your right. That is your room for the night. Farewell.
Heading up the short stairs to the first room on the right, we feel the weight of our actions lift entirely and almost create a sense of euphoria envelop us, and we begin to drift almost instantly to a dreamless sleep. As if sinking into the Night Mother's own cold, loving embrace, we're then plucked from our dream, sensing a presence nearby, with Lucy and LeChance standing over us.
So, the deed is done. How do I know this? You will find that the Dark Brotherhood knows a great many things, for you are now part of the family.
Cycling through our many responses, we can say, my life for the Brotherhood.
Indeed.
Now what?
Now, you embrace your fate.
Or we opt to say nothing.
Now, heed these words. The slaying of Rufio was the signing of a covenant, the manner of execution, your signature, Rufio's blood, the ink. As a speaker of the Black Hand, I directly oversee a particular group of family members. You will join that group and fulfill any contracts given. You must now go to the city of Cyrodiil, to the abandoned house near the eastern wall. Enter the basement and attempt to open the black door. You will be asked a question. Answer thusly. Sanguine, my brother. You will gain entrance to the sanctuary. Once inside, speak with Ochiva. We must now take our leave of each other, you and I, for there is much work to be done. I'll be following your progress. Welcome to the family.
We then ask, what happens now that Rufio is dead?
Rufio lies dead. Well done. The family will now welcome you with open arms.
And what of this covenant you mentioned?
Know this. Every dark brother and sister is a child of Sithis. He whom we call Sithis has many other names. Chaos, Doom, Discord. Sithis is the void. We of the Dark Brotherhood serve the Night Mother, who is the bride of Sithis. The Night Mother rules her children with a terrible black hand. The Black Hand is the ruling body of the Dark Brotherhood. It is made up of one listener and 4 speakers. 4 fingers and a thumb, if you will. As a member of the Dark Brotherhood, you must abide by the 5 tenets. They are the laws that guide and protect us.
So, even assassins have rules. What are these 5 tenets?
The 5 tenets are as follows. Tenet 1. Never dishonor the Night Mother. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis. Tenet 2. Never betray the Dark Brotherhood or its secrets. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis. Tenet 3. Never disobey or refuse to carry out an order from a Dark Brotherhood superior. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis. Tenet 4. Never steal the possessions of a Dark Brother or Dark Sister. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis. Tenet 5. Never kill a Dark Brother or Dark Sister. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis.
I understand there's a Night Mother, but what is Sithis?
How does one best describe our dread father? Imagine a perfect, cloudless midnight, cold as winter ice and shrouded in shadow. That is Sithis. You are now one with the Dark Brotherhood. Visit Ochiva at the Cyrodiil Sanctuary, and your new life will begin.
With Lucien's initial welcoming to the family, he gives us his leave and our quest updates reading. I must now go to the abandoned house in the city of Cyrodiil and attempt to open the door in the basement. When questioned, I must answer with sanguine, my brother, to gain access to the secret Dark Brotherhood sanctuary. Once inside, I should speak with Ochiva, and our new life with the Dark Brotherhood will begin. Taking advantage of the Veil of Night, we then explore the city of Cyrodiil's many dark paths and Dunmer architecture. Tracing our way past the temple, we find on the southwestern wall a boarded up house as promised. Entering the house and bypassing an easy lock, we find that its downstairs area is full of clutter and spiderwebs. Up the first and second floor, we find more clutter and only one book underneath a shelf labelled The Waters of Oblivion, the single item that we can see of value. It's then we head back down the stairs and towards a door to the southeast that leads us to an abandoned basement. Inside the basement, we find a wall to the north has been broken apart and leads deeper into a subterranean passage that glows in an ominous crimson light. Heading up its few stone stairs, we see they are covered in blood. It looks like a body fresh had been dragged inside. The door itself is etched with a disturbing mural. A single handprint over a red sun glows artificially. The sun, it seems, is embedded on a skull representing what seems to be Sithis or death itself. Below is the Night Mother, her children's hands up in supplication, or perhaps her victims. Attempting to enter the door, a disembodied voice then whispers,
"What is the color of night?"
If we opt to say nothing and walk away, then we are left to our own devices. Instead, following Lucien's guidance, we reply, "Sanguine, my brother." It's then the large stone door opens of its own volition and we step inside the sanctuary. Our quest also updates, reading, "I have gained entrance into the Dark Brotherhood sanctuary. I must now speak with Ochiva." Welcomed into the sanctuary, a single Argonian female, dressed in all black, approaches us.
Greetings, brother, greetings. I am Ochiva, mistress of this sanctuary. Lucien has told me all about you. I welcome you to the Dark Brotherhood. You stand now in our sanctuary. May it serve as your new home, a place of comfort and security whenever the need arises. When you're ready for work, go and speak with Vicente Valtieri. He handles all assignments for new family members. But before you go, please accept this gift from your new family. A unique set of armor, lighter than normal leather and black as the void. Now, I've kept you long enough. Vicente is waiting. You'll find him in his quarters. Go now, my child, and may Sithis go with you.
Accepting the shrouded armor as a gift, we can then pause and speak to Ochiva, asking, "Where is Lucien?"
Lucien isn't here very often. His duties with the Black Hand keep him very busy, so he trusts me to keep the sanctuary in order.
Is this the only base of operations for the Dark Brotherhood?
Ours is not the only Dark Brotherhood sanctuary. There are others hidden throughout Cyrodiil, each one overseen by a speaker of the Black Hand.
How exactly does this Night Mother work?
To employ the services of the Dark Brotherhood, one must perform a ritual to the Night Mother. Only then will she heed their prayers for murder. It is an ancient rite, this black sacrament. All across the Empire, every day, people beseech the Night Mother to take the lives of others. After a person performs the ritual, they are contacted by a speaker. Gold is exchanged, and the details worked out. So it has always been.
So what then is Sithis' role?
Those fools in the church and their so-called 9 divines. There is no divinity beyond the eternal and terrible rule of our dread father Sithis. Go now, dear family member, and may the Night Mother wrap you in her cold, loving embrace.
Looking to fit in with our new brethren, we wrap ourselves in the garb of the shrouded armor which fortifies sneak, illusion, marksman, blade and acrobatics for 8 points on self. The shrouded hood fortifying the same attribute, though to a lesser degree with 2 points each on self. And then we look around the sanctuary and see the markings of the Black Hand about. A single undead guardian stalks its halls, and we begin to meet the other family members, starting with the Argonian Taniva, who welcomes.
I wish to welcome you to this sanctuary, my newest brother. I welcome you to our family and this sanctuary. May you find yourself at home here in the loving embrace of Our Lady, the Night Mother.
How would you describe the Night Mother?
The Night Mother is the Dark Brotherhood's unholy matron. She guides our actions, just as the dread father Sithis once guided hers.
This sanctuary seems to be out in the open. Doesn't it bring trouble from the law?
I've heard the Count of Shadenhall knows about this sanctuary, but he is offered much gold, as well as other incentives, to keep his mouth shut.
I have trouble wrapping my head around this, but who is Sithis?
Who is Sithis, you ask? Some call him the Dread Father. It was his terrible love that gave birth to the Dark Brotherhood so very long ago.
How did you first meet Lucian?
Ochiva and I have known Lucian since we were hatchlings. He is the one who trained us in the way of the Shadow Scale and is like a father to us.
What is a Shadow Scale?
In the Argonian homeland of Blackmarsh, those born under the sign of the Shadow are taken at birth and presented to the Dark Brotherhood. A Shadow Scale hatchling is trained in the arts of stealth and assassination and lives a life in service to the mighty kingdom of Argonia. Any Shadow Scale who lives to come of age is accepted into the Dark Brotherhood as a full member of the family. So it was with myself and Ochiva. May Sithis be with you.
Giving the Argonian our leave, we then head west and see a single female Breton, Antoinetta Marie, awaiting our arrival, saying,
I've heard so much about you.
But why, sister?
Welcome
What's
to
the
our
point?
family. Welcome, brother. So good to finally meet you. I hope you're getting along all right.
We can then ask, how did you meet Lucian?
I will always think of Lucien Lechance as my saviour. When he found me, I was living in a gutter, an inch away from death. I owe him everything.
Seems most folk respect Lucian. And what about the Night Mother? Could she be real? I thought she'd be more involved.
I've always wondered who the Night Mother really is. Some say she's an old woman who lives somewhere here in Cyrodiil, but I'm not so sure.
How do you find living in the sanctuary?
Have you ever lived on the streets, struggled to survive? This sanctuary is my home. Here I have the safety and love I've searched for all my life.
And finally we ask, have you ever seen Sithis?
Sometimes, right before a kill, Sithis speaks to me. He whispers in my ear and fills my heart with the joy of suffering and death. Good luck, brother. I hope you don't get killed.
You are
I mean,
life-taker for the Dark Brotherhood.
you know.
Heading past Antoinetta, we overhear a conversation between a local orc in ebony armor and a Bosma archer.
Why should anyone bother with all that sneaking and skulking?
My dear Gogren, you are a life-taker for the Dark Brotherhood. Our very existence relies on shadow and deception. Do you not value our secrets?
Yes, of course I value our secrets, and I've never betrayed them. But using stealth to kill, it's just so weak.
But brother, what of the contracts that require subtlety? You must at least strive to earn the bonuses that are offered.
Bonuses? Useless, I say. Gold and magical trinkets are no substitute for the freedom to slaughter anyone I please, at any time.
Oh, Gogren! Your methods may be crude, but your heart is always in the right place.
Approaching Gogren.
Yes, of course I value our secret. Welcome to the family. I'd hug you, but Ochiva told me not to.
We then comment how most folk around here seem to respect Lucian, to which Gogren agrees, saying,
I once saw Lucian deal with an insubordinate brother, someone who had broken the tenets. It took me a week to get the blood off my boots.
Respect hard earned. And what do you think of this Night Mother, Gogren?
I don't know who the Night Mother is, but she pays me to kill people. My own mother should have loved me so much.
Do you enjoy living in the sanctuary?
You know what they say? Home is where you hang your enemy's head.
Gogren, you seem to be pragmatic. What do you think of Sithis?
Truthfully, I've never really understood who or what Sithis really is. As long as I obey the tenets and fulfill my contracts, I guess he's happy.
If we remark that Gogren seems to be close to Talandril, he, overshares a little.
Hey, I don't like to tell stories, but Talandril and me, don't believe me. I've got her undergarments to prove it.
It is
Later,
an
then.
honor to make your acquaintance.
Overhearing us, Talandril then welcomes.
Warmest welcomes to you. I am Talandril, wood elf, and loyal daughter of Sithis. I hope you find our sanctuary to your liking.
So how did you meet Lucian, Talandril?
Actually, Lucian did not try to recruit me. Not at first. He tried to kill me. My father wanted me dead, and he hired the Dark Brotherhood to do it. I escaped from Lucian, and paid my father back for his treachery. Lucian came to me again that night with an offer I just couldn't refuse.
You know, Antoinetta said that the Night Mother's a woman. What do you think?
Our Lady is surely an ancient and powerful elf. Someday, when I am listener of the Black Hand, I will look upon her beautiful and unholy form.
And what do you believe Sithis is?
Long ago, in an age now forgotten, Sithis came to the Night Mother and begat her 5 sons. So you see, his love gave birth to the Dark Brotherhood.
I wonder where those sons are now. How do you find the sanctuary? It's a little different than Valenwood.
In truth, I miss the towering elms of my native Valenwood, but I was banished from there for deeds I don't care to discuss. This is my home now.
If we tell Talandril that Gogren is talking about their relationship, she teases playfully.
Oh, I shouldn't. Well, all right. Gogren had a pet rabbit as a child. He petted the thing so hard he crushed its skull. What a brute! May your arrows always strike true.
Heading deeper into the sanctuary's bowels, we find a single mage merchant named Mirage Da who scolds.
Get away from me. If it isn't the newest member of the family, let's get one thing straight. The tenants prevent me from killing you, but I don't have to like you. I'll sell you equipment, but only because Ochiva is making me. This family doesn't need any outsiders.
Shocked at the hostility of our newest brethren, we go to speak to him further, but he simply states,
I have it on good authority that the newest addition to the Brotherhood is an annoying whelp, unworthy of licking my boots. How's that for gossip?
It should be noted that Mirage, for all of his attitude, actually has a handful of exceptional items and spells as well that cannot be found anywhere else in the game, as they are unique and often cost a lot less mana, and some even cost less magic to cast.
Just take your trinkets and go. Foul-smelling ape.
However, Mirage isn't so thrilled about our patronage. Finally, we head down the stairs, and to the southeast we find a single stone room. Inside stands a vampire awaiting our arrival and a potential contract, but that is a story for another time. Instead, an interesting tidbit to end the episode, if we make our way back to the Inn of Ill Omen and speak to Minerva, she will be shocked about Rufio.
It's good to see you, friend. This inn has been cheerless for far too long. Rufio is dead. He was murdered. It looks like he was hiding out from somebody after all. Yeah, right. Till next time.
As well as the publican, Mannheim, behind the bar, will also realise that the name of his inn is probably the least of his worries if word gets out about the fallen Breton.
Yeah, I still got rooms. What do you need? Rufio? Well, he was killed, murdered, right here in my inn. And I thought business was bad before. When this gets out, I'll never rent another room.